Hello everyone, welcome to the next game in the New York Yankees season replay. They are on their first road trip here at Camden Yards in Baltimore. The Yankees enter this game 4-3 on the season after splitting the 4 games with the Blue Jays, and the Orioles enter this series 3-3 via fast score. Let's go through our starting lineups and then we'll hit the starting pitchers and get ready for first pitch. As we are ready to go here from Camden Yards, the first road game for the Yankees this season.
Lineup as Orioles have taken the field. Tonight's starting lineup brought to you by TikTok. It starts on TikTok. You got Anthony Rizzo at first base leading off. Stanton's in right field batting second. Josh Donaldson will DH. He'll hit third. Cleaning up the left field is Joey Gallo. DJ LeMahieu at third base will bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing second base, Gleyber Torres. Aaron Hicks in center field will bat seventh. Batting eighth, playing shortstop, Isaiah Kanafalefa. And Kyle Higashioka will catch, and he's going to bat ninth. Aaron Judge is not hurt, just a day off. And that lineup is Urias for third base with Mountcastle at first. That's the top three. Middle three is Mancini the DH, Santander in right, Hayes at left. And the bottom third, the shortstop, Jorge Mateo. Robinson Chirinos will catch at bat eighth. Chris Owings at second base will bat ninth. And they'll face another Jordan, a battle of Jordans.
All right, as he said, it is a battle of Jordans. As we move these back in their proper spaces, it is a battle of Jordans. We've got Jordan Lyles from the Orioles against Jordan Montgomery from the Yankees. And now that I've moved the things out of the way, let me put these where they can be seen, hopefully. I believe the lineup card can go right there. And the bullpen card should be able to fit in basically right here. A little bit lower. There we go. I think that'll do it. I don't want to mess up the line score. I want you to be able to see the line score. Okay. I think we're in good shape here. I think everything that needs to be in view is in view. Got my score sheet over here, but you don't really need to see that. That's just for my purposes, so that after I keep score, I can enter it into digital diamond baseball. And as well, there will be the ticker after this game is over to play the April 15th games and get those squared away so that we can get up-to-date standings. I do have the up-to-date standings in the computer. A little bit early for them right now. Most teams have played either 6, 7, or 8 games, some 9. So it's real early as far as that goes. So I'm not going to worry too much about the standings at this point. So again, I'm using just the charts, no fast action cards. It's just my choice. Just what I prefer. So if you like the fast action cards, that's perfectly fine. Like very customizable game is Payoff pitch, so something there to keep in mind. Do one more look here to make sure everything fits. I think it does. At least what I need it to. All right, so we're ready to go. Stepping up to the plate is Anthony Rizzo. Unusual to have him lead off, but he does draw a lot of walks, so maybe that's part of it. Using Oriole colored dice, and we're underway. 7 is Patient 79 against a right-hander. Just missed it. Only goes to 76. 79 is a fly out to center field, and Anthony Rizzo is retired as Mullins puts it away. 1 away, and that brings up Giancarlo Stanton, number 2 hitter. And as they said, Judge not hurt, just getting the day off, so he can come off the bench later in the game if need be. Lyles to Stanton. We got a 3, which is in play. It's 0-4, and that's going to be a base hit for Giancarlo Stanton. Solid single for Giancarlo Stanton. He has a 0. He just has an F here. Normally on a 3 like that, that's usually good enough to get a jump, but he doesn't have a number on his steals. He stole no bases, so no threat to steal there at all. And that brings up the designated hitter, Josh Donaldson. We get an 8, which is tough. 19, that's going to be a strikeout. So 2 down. And now it's up to Joey Gallo to keep the inning going for the Yankees. We get an 8, which is tough again, 72. That's going to be another strikeout, and that's going to end the inning. So the Yankees go quietly here in the first. Save a Giancarlo Stanton single. But other than that, 2 are gone via strikeouts to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the first. It is the Orioles. The Yankees, nothing. Orioles coming to bat, and left-handed Jordan Montgomery, who had 21 starts. He was 3-3 with a 3.69 ERA. He will be on the mound for the Yankees in this one. And Cedric Mullins for the Orioles will do the leadoff duties. And we are ready to go here in the bottom of the first. Montgomery, 8 is tough, 57 against a left-hander. That's going to be a base hit for Cedric Mullins. Against a right-hander, that would have been an out. But against a left-hander, he gets a base hit. So Cedric Mullins, leadoff single. That's an 8, so he has no chance to steal. He needed a 4 or less to get the jump. So he will stay put. And here's Ramon Urias. Montgomery, an 8 again is tough, 24, and that is the first strikeout for Jordan Montgomery. All right. Montgomery is out of there. Actually, don't need that little sound effect because we're not in Yankee Stadium. And the Orioles aren't going to do that to their own hitters, so put that away. That was a little mix-up there, but it is a strikeout. Urias is out of there. 1 down for Ryan Mountcastle, first baseman. 6 is Patient 91, though. Patient 91 is a ground ball to short, possible double play. He's an 8. He's a 7. We got a 6. That is a double play. It's going to go 6-4-3. Double play, tailor-made. And that's it for the Orioles. Yankees give up the leadoff single, but nothing else becomes of it because of the double play. We go to the second, no score from Camden Yards. And Jordan Lyles back out. And coming up for the Yankees, it will be DJ LeMahieu. He is at third base today with Donaldson DHing. 7 for Lyles is Patient, 86 though. That's too high. That's going to be a ground ball to short. 1 away, as that's taken care of by the shortstop, Mateo. 1 down for Gleyber Torres. Gleyber Torres. We get a 5, which is in play, 29. And against a right-hander, that's a base hit for Gleyber Torres. Against a left-hander, it would have been an out. It would have been a pop to second. But against a right-hander, it's a base hit. So Gleyber Torres gets himself a base hit. He hit slightly better against righties, 257 versus 255. So there's your difference there. And that'll bring up Aaron Hicks, center fielder. Seven is Patient again. 09, that's a walk. So Torres will take second. And Aaron Hicks is aboard with a walk. And all of a sudden the Yankees have 2 on with only 1 out. And Isaiah Kiner-Falefa stepping to the plate. Jordan Lyles could use one of those double play balls right now. 8 is tough. 41. He won't get it. That's a base hit. But since it's on the tough result, it's a 1 base advancement. At least that's the way I play it when it's tough. It's a 1 base advancement. And if there were 2 outs, then I would have done the 2 out thing, but there's not 2 outs. So the tough result overrides anything else that might have come up, like the dice or whatever. And even if we had done that, well, either way, it doesn't matter. Bases are loaded, 1 out for Kyle Higashioka. Infield looking for the double play ball, if they can get it. 9 is in play, 77. That's a fly to center, so it won't be a double play grounder, obviously. It's a fly to center. The question is it a sacrifice fly? Well, the rules by the chart, let's look at the chart. Take a look on fly balls. That result came off of an in play. So on a fly out, in play does not have any special results. So therefore it says on a F8, which is what we had, 77 is a fly to center. On an F8, the result is, let's see here. All the pitcher result. Run on third scores if his run rating is 7 or higher. Well, Gleyber Torres is a 6, so he will not score. It's not going to be deep enough to get him, to bring him home, so that's 2 outs. And it's up now to the top of the order, and Anthony Rizzo, if the Yankees are going to score. Let me pause the video real quick. Okay, Anthony Rizzo is up to the plate with the bases loaded and 2 outs. And Lyles to Rizzo. 2 is in play, but it's a 37. That's too high. 37 is going to be a liner right to second base. And Owen snags it to end the inning, and the Yankees leave them loaded. That could very well come back to bite them. Don't like leaving the bases loaded, no matter who you are. And that one definitely cost them. So the Yankees come up empty here in the top of the second. Go to the bottom of the second, no score, and Trey Mancini, the designated hitter, will be the batter for the Orioles against Jordan Montgomery. We get a 9, which is in play, 45. That's too high. That's going to be a ground ball back to Montgomery. Easy play, and Mancini is retired. That'll bring up the switch hitting Anthony Santander. He will turn around bat right-handed against the left-handed Montgomery. It's actually his better side to get 293 against lefties, only 221 against righties. We get in 5, which is in play, but it's a 79, and that's going to be a fly to center. 2 down. So 2 up and 2 down for the Orioles, and that brings up left fielder Austin Hayes. Six is patient, 37, and that's going to be against a left-hander, 37 patient. It's going to be a double for Austin Hayes. So Austin Hayes, a 2-out double, gives the Orioles a chance to pick up a run. Here's Jorge Mateo, the shortstop. Montgomery, 5 is in play. 31, though, is a wild pitch. So 30 and 31 on his card is a wild pitch. That is a 31, so it is a wild pitch. And Austin Hayes will take third base on the wild pitch. And we'll redo the at-bat for Mateo. We get a 9, which is in play, 42. That's going to be out of range. 42 is a liner right to second. Gleyber Torres with the snag. And the inning's over. The Orioles leave a runner on third and do not score him. So both teams leaving runners on base. And at the end of 2, we got no score from Camden Yards. One of the few Major League stadiums I've actually been to. All right, so Jordan Lyles, and from what I've heard and seen, it's one of the better ones, even though it's been around a while now, since 90. I think 92 was the first year it was in existence, so it's been there over 30 years, but it still holds it's got the old field charm, but the modern amenities. It's a great place to watch a ball game, I will say that. Let's see, coming up for the Yankees, it'll be Giancarlo Stanton to lead things off. Stanton singled his first time up, but was stranded at first base. Let's see, we got an 8, which is tough, 11, and that's going to be a strikeout. Struck him out, Stanton. He's had issues with that in this replay so far. He's doing a lot of striking out. Here's Josh Donaldson, designated hitter. 11 is wheelhouse. Not a good place to be if you're Jordan Lyles. That's a 66. And Donaldson, on the very last number of his wheelhouse, he gets a base hit. So could have been worse for Jordan Lyles. As it is, he holds Donaldson to a single. So Donaldson is aboard and brings up Joey Gallo. Good thing about Gallo, he's only got a 4 double play rating, so he's more of a fly ball hitter, so chances of a double play, unless it's a line drive double play, are very slim. 10 is tough, And that's an 0-5, but the tough 0-5 is a strikeout. And that's out number 2. As Gallo goes down on the whiff. He's 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. Here's LeMahieu. He grounded to short his first trip. 10 is tough 44. And against a right-hander, tough 44 is a base hit. It's a tough result. There are 2 outs, but since he's not a 6, he will not go to third. So Donaldson will only get second base. So runners are at first and second, and the Yankees again have runners on. The question is, can they bring them home? Donaldson doesn't run well, so Gleyber Torres is going to have to probably get an extra base hit to bring him home. 4 is ballpark, and 64. Camden Yards against right-handed hitters only goes to 38 for Wheelhouse, so this is an in-play result for Gleyber Torres against the righty. He needs a 32 or less. Gets an 83, which is a ground ball to short, and Mateo will just flip to Owens covering at second for a 6-4 fielder's choice to end the inning. So that's going to do it for the Yankees. They leave 2 more on base, and the left on bases are piling up for the Yankees. So something to keep an eye on if you're the Yankees. You're losing opportunities left and right on the base paths. And now we go to the bottom of the third, and we're looking at the bottom portion of the order. Robinson Chirinos, the catcher, followed by Chris Owings, and then back to the top of the order, and Mullins. Chirinos, the batter. 3 is Wheelhouse. That's an 87, though, as Wheelhouse only goes to 66 against lefties. So the 87 misses that. It's going to be a ground ball to short for out number 1. So Montgomery gave him a fat pitch, and Chirinos just missed it, got on top of it, pounded it to short, and it's easy play for Kiner-Falefa. 1 down for Chris Owings. Only an 0-37 hitter against righty. 172 against lefties. So that's why he's in there, because he can't hit righties for sure. 5 is in play, and that is a 13. In play, 13 is a base hit. So Chris Owens gets himself a base hit from the number 9 position. He's a 3 steal, but that's a 5, so no jump. And now Cedric Mullins back up. He singled his first time up. We get a 6, which is patient 86. Patient 86 is out of range. It's a ground ball to second, possible double play, but that's a 6, and he's only a 5. So they get the fielder's choice, but Mullins will reach on the fielder's choice grounder. Going to go 4-6 for out number 2. And Mullins is aboard on the fielder's choice. His steal is a 4. That result was a 6 on the 2d6s, so he cannot get the jump. And it brings up Urias. This little doodad I have that for this board is not working too well with the payoff pitch cards. They're getting stuck in there, and then I'm tipping the whole thing over. So I may just eschew that and just go with the regular stack of cards on this one. All right, Urias is up. 2 down, runner at first. Get a 7, which is tough. 0-9, that's going to strike him out, and that's going to end the inning. So that's going to do it for the Orioles here in the bottom of the third. 3 complete from Camden Yards and no score. I'm going to eschew these things here and just go with the stacks. I think that's the best way to do it. So the Orioles are out in the third. We go to the fourth, no score. Both Jordans pitching very well. Jordan Lyles is up, and he'll be facing Hicks, Kiner-Falefa, and Higashioka, bottom third of the order for the Yankees. Hicks, his first time up, walked, was stranded at second base. 10 is tough, and that's a 63. Tough 63 against a right-hander. Against a lefty, he would have struck out. Against a right-hander, it's not going to be a strikeout, but it's going to be an out. 63 will be a fly to right. So Hicks lifts a fly to right field. Easy can of corn for the right fielder Santander. One down, and here is kind of Falefa. Eight is tough, 94. That's definitely out of range. That's a fly to left. So two easy fly balls create two outs. And the number 9 hitter, Higashioka, steps to the plate. 4 is ballpark. 68, though, that's in play at Camden Yards. So Higashioka has an in play result. 60, though, is well out of range. It will be a fly to right to end the inning. So 3 easy fly balls take care of the Yankees here in the 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Still no score from Camden Yards. And Jordan Montgomery back out will be facing Ryan Mountcastle, the first baseman. He will lead off, followed by Mancini and Santander. Heart of the order, 3, 4, and 5 coming up for the Orioles. Mountcastle, his first time up, grounded into an inning-ending double play. 5 is in play, and that's a 34, and that's going to be out of range barely. 34 will be a pop to short. So he hits a little humpback liner right to kind of Falefa for an easy play. One down for Trey Mancini. And you can see he started the season with the Orioles, got traded to the Astros on July 31st. We get a 9, which is in play, 77. That's a fly to center, 2 down. Put away by Hicks. 2 up, 2 down, brings up Santander. Switch hitter, batting right-handed, which he hits a whole lot better against lefties. 293 versus lefties, only 221 versus righties. Montgomery, 5 is in play. 70, though, is out of range. That's going to be a ground ball to second. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Jordan Montgomery. So both Jordans are pitching very, very well. We got no score after 4. So we go to the top of the 5th. Due up for the Yankees. It's the top of the order, Anthony Rizzo. Rizzo, 0 for 2. He flew to center in the first, line to second in the second. 8 is tough, 52, and that's going to be a base hit for Rizzo against a right-hander. Tough 52. Right-hander's a base hit. Against a lefty, that would have been an out, but against a righty, that's a base hit for Rizzo. He leads off with a single. Yankees with yet another runner on base. This time, nobody out, and here comes the strikeout machine, Giancarlo Stanton, although he did single in the first. 10 is tough. 31, though. 30 is a wild pitch, not 31. So we go to the result. 31's a strikeout. Stanton, once again, victim to strikeouts. 1 away for Josh Donaldson. 8 is tough. 55, and that's another strikeout. So Jordan Lyles has a strikeout ball going. 2 down. Here's Joey Gallo. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Trying to avoid the hat trick. 6 is tough. 56, but he won't do it. He strikes out. So Lyles strikes out the side. After giving up the single to Anthony Rizzo, he comes back to strike out the side. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. No score from Camden Yards. Both pitchers have fatigue of 6s, but if they keep that shutout going, they can pitch a little bit longer than 6. We'll see. Definitely don't like to use guys when they're tired. They just get penalized too much, and there's too many guys in the bullpen not to bring them in. So Montgomery to Hayes. Hayes is he doubled his first time up, was stranded at third. 6 from Montgomery is patient. 67 against a lefty is going to be out of range. Only goes to 61. 67 is a ground out to second. Gleyber Torres makes the play. 1 down. And that will bring up the shortstop, Jorge Mateo, followed by Robinson Chirinos. 11 is defense. First defensive check of the game that I can remember. And we get a 42, which is an error check on the first baseman, Rizzo. Now, remember, Rizzo, when he was carded, he is carded as a 1 error rating, which is the worst you can have, even though he has a 995 fielding percentage. So I homebrewed him to 4 to try to make it more realistic. So he's going to have an error rating of 4 rather than 1, which means it has to be a 32 or less to be an error, not a 63 or less. He's going to make an error anyway because it's a 22. So it will be an error. There's a 6. And for a first baseman, when you get a 6, it is a 1 base error. So 1 base error on Rizzo is going to allow Mateo to reach E3. So just the fact that everybody would have made an error on that play, no matter what your rating was, just bad rolls. So he's aboard, is Mateo. And actually, he's got a chance to steal because the 2d6s were a 6, if I'm not mistaken. No, they were 11 because it was defense. Never mind. The original roll was an 11, which is defense, so he cannot steal. Here's Chirinos. We get a 9, which is in play, 76, and that's going to be a fly to center for out number 2. 2 down, and that brings up the number 9 hitter, Chris Owings. Normally, the Orioles would have Rougned Odor as their second baseman, but he's a lefty, and so they're giving Owens a righty a chance against the lefty Montgomery. We got an 8, which is tough 58. Tough 58 to strikeout. Chris Owings is gone, and so are the Orioles here in the 5th. So through 5 innings, nothing going on either side offensively. We go to the 6th, no score, and this is the fatigue inning for both pitchers. So have to be cognizant of that. Jordan Lyles is back out. We'll be facing DJ LeMahieu to lead off the inning, followed by Torres and Hicks. But we'll keep an eye on Lyles if he gets into trouble in this inning. Could see some bullpen activity. Lyles, 7 is patient. 79, though, is going to be out of range for LeMahieu. He will fly to center field. And there's 1 down. And that will send up Gleyber Torres. He's singled and reached on the fielder's choice, 1 for 2 on the day. 10 is tough, 86. Tough 86. Ground ball to short, 2 down. So neither pitcher seems to want to flinch. Maybe 1 long ball might win the whole thing. We'll see. Aaron Hicks. 8 is tough. 0-3, that's a strikeout to end the inning. So Jordan Lyles not showing any sign of fatiguing or doing anything. He's just rolling. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Still no score. And speaking of rolling, Jordan Montgomery is not doing bad himself. Through 5 innings, let's see how many hits he's given up. 1, 2, 3. He's only given up 3 hits. And Lyles has given up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. Lyles has a 6-hit shutout through 6 innings. Montgomery has a 3-hit shutout through 5 innings. Here's Cedric Mullins. He's singled and reached on a fielder's choice. 9 is in play. 27 against a lefty. That's a base hit for Cedric Mullins. So leadoff single for Mullins. And now the Yankee bullpen might start to stir a little bit. He's a 4, but that's a 9, so no steal chance. Urias. Boy, you wonder if you bunt in this situation. I think they got to do something to get a runner in scoring position, but you hate to give up outs too. That's the thing. You only get so many outs a game, and you hate to just give one away, but if it's a productive out, then it's a whole different situation. So, let's see how they want to deal with this. We'll go to our sacrifice bunt chart. I'm going to roll 2 D10s and 1 D6 and see what we come up with, because the D6 is the fielder finder. Urias is a B bunter. B bunter means we're in that column there, so let's see what happens as far as the roll goes. All right, the orange die is a 4, which means it's fielded by the pitcher Montgomery. It is a 75. So if we go to our chart on 75 as a B bunter, 75 B bunter is a good sacrifice. So it is a good sacrifice. Mullins will reach on the sacrifice. It's going to go 1 to 4. So he will reach. And with 1 out, timeout, and I'll be right back. Okay, we are back after that small interruption. Sacrifice bunt has moved Mullins to second base with 1 out for Ryan Mountcastle. Mountcastle's grounded into a double play and popped to short. 0 for 2. There's a 4, tough. But a 31 is another wild pitch from Montgomery. Second time he's done that with a runner at second. And that's going to put a runner at third with less than 2 outs. So the infield is going to have to come in. Tough break there from Montgomery throwing those wild pitches. The infield is in. We get an 8, which is tough. 65. Mountcastle against the lefty. 65 is a base hit. And there's the first run of the game for the Orioles. RBI single from Ryan Mountcastle. Scoring is Mullins. Yankees fall behind 1-0. Now the Yankee bullpen is loosening. They do have Jonathan Loaizaga ready to come in if they so choose. Trey Mancini is the batter. Or do you stick with Montgomery? They're going to stick with Montgomery just a little bit longer. See if we can get out of this. We got an 11, which is defense, 87. So a defense check, 87. Defensive check, 87 is an error check on the left fielder, Joey Gallo. Joey Gallo in left field is an error rating of 2, so not very good. This could be trouble. 1-53, and we got an error. It's a 59, so he makes the play barely. Tough play for Gallo. He hung on and made the catch for out number 2. And Trey Mancini is retired. Here comes Santander. He does significantly better against lefties. So with that in mind, Montgomery is going to be lifted. And Jonathan Loaizaga will be coming in for the for the Yankees to try to finish out the inning and keep the Orioles to 1 run. So Loaizaga is your new pitcher. He will be coming on, and going 5 2/3 innings is Montgomery. Giving up 1 run, but the runner on first, Mountcastle, is his responsibility. So now Santander will turn around bat left-handed against a righty where he only hits 221 versus the 293 against the lefty. 4 is in play, 71. That's going to be a ground ball to second to end the inning as Torres just throws to first, keeping it simple. But the Orioles break through with a run. RBI single off the bat of Ryan Mountcastle has given the Orioles a 1-0 lead. And now we go to the top of the 7th, and what do you do if you are the Orioles? Do you stick with Jordan Lyles? He's pitching so well, you'd hate to take him out. Bullpen is active for the Orioles. Let's look at their bullpen. They do have, let's see who's coming up for the Yankees. It's Kiner-Falefa, Higashioka, and Rizzo. So they got a lefty in the bullpen waiting for Rizzo. They got, I believe it's Paul Fry down there. Just double check that for you. It is Fry. Yep, Paul Fry is loosening in the bullpen, a lefty. And he's going to be coming in to face Rizzo once we get to that point. They're going to try to get Jordan Lyles through the first 2 outs. Here's Kiner-Falefa. It's 1 for 2. Get a 10, which is tough, 53 against a right-hander. 53 is just out of range. It will be a ground ball to third, 1 down. So Jordan Lyles is out of there, 1 away for Higashioka. And this will be the last batter for Jordan Lyles. Fry is ready. He'll be coming in to face Rizzo. 10 is tough. Tough 69. Tough 69 is going to be a ground ball to second. 2 down. So Jordan Lyles will finish facing 27 batters, going 6 2/3 and not giving up any runs. So he will leave with the lead. Can win it, cannot lose it. And left-hander Paul Fry is going to be coming on for the Orioles. Paul Fry. And his one job is to get Anthony Rizzo. Now, there's a minimum 3-batter rule, but when you complete an inning, that rule goes away. So if Paul Fry can get Rizzo, that's the only batter he will have to face. He will not have to face 3 batters if he gets Rizzo out to end the inning. Rizzo's 1 for 3. That was against Jordan Lyles. Lefty on lefty matchup. 8 is patient. 32. That's going to be a walk. So he walks Rizzo. He walks Rizzo to keep the inning going. And now Giancarlo Stanton is your batter. Fry has to be careful here. We get a 7, which is tough. 73. Tough 73 against a lefty is a base hit for Giancarlo Stanton. Rizzo, even though it's tough, there are 2 outs and he runs at a 6, so that will override the tough result. And Rizzo will take third. So runners are at the corners for Josh Donaldson. And Fry will have to face Donaldson because this is the third batter, but the Orioles do have a righty in the bullpen ready to go. And that is right-hander Joey Crable. Joey Crable, the right-hander, is ready, but Fry wants to get out of the inning if at all possible. 3 is patient. 50. And that's a double for Josh Donaldson, so that will tie the game. And let's see about, it's a double off a patient. Stanton runs at a 4, so he will not get an extra base, I don't believe. We'll check the dice. Lead die of 1. And on the base running advancement chart, I should say. Let's get that out. Base running advancement chart on a double. Runner at first and a double, lead die of 1, you get 2 bases. So Stanton does stop at third. So the Orioles have given up the lead, and boy, second guessers galore now with taking out Jordan Lyles. Paul Fry was not the answer. He couldn't get anybody out. So now they're going to Joey Crable to see if they can keep the score tied and not fall behind any further. And coming up is Gallo, lefty. But they don't care. They weren't going to leave Fry in there any longer to take any more abuse. So Crable it is. First base is open if they choose to walk Gallo. You got LeMahieu, but LeMahieu is a much better hitter, so you're not going to do that. So he's just trying to get out of the inning, keep it a 1-1 game if possible. 9 is tough. 0-9, he certainly did it. Struck him out. Gallo get the hat trick now with 3 strikeouts. But the game is tied. The Yankees have tied the ball game. Thanks to the blown hold from Paul Fry. Couldn't get it done. Actually, that's Gallo's 4th strikeout. He's got the golden sombrero. Not just the hat trick. He's got the golden sombrero. And we go to the bottom of the 7th inning stretch time here at Camden Yards, and we are tied. We have a tie game at 1. And due up for the Orioles against Jonathan Loizaga. Oh, let me mark off Crable here. Forgot to mark him off. So Loizaga will be facing Austin Hayes, Mateo, and Chirinos. He only faced 1 batter in the 6th, so he's definitely still good to go. We get a 8, which is tough. 82. Tough 82 is a ground ball to short. 1 away. So definitely second guessers here at Camden Yards are wondering why Jordan Lyles came out, but I think it got down to pitch count. And early in the season, you don't want to wear him out or hurt his arm. So here's Mateo. 8 is tough. 24 struck him out. I know old school guys are saying, what the big deal? But we're talking 2022, so got to follow those. If I'm going to replay that season, I need to follow those trends and patterns and rules, so that's what I'm going for. Here's Chirinos. 11 is defense. That's a 35. Defense 35. Let's take a look at the defensive chart for 35 and see what we're checking on that. That is the range of the right fielder. So we're checking the range of Giancarlo Stanton. And Stanton is a range of F. Terrible. Worst range you can have. 1 to 73 will be a hit. And it is a hit. It's a 7. Let's see what that does, if that gives us any indication on the hit chart. Or failed defensive chart, however you want to look at it. where I need my little standees to have in front of me so I can have these things ready to go. Easier to do when I'm not recording. We get a 7. So when you fail the range, 7. Let's see here, hit chart 7. Hit to right field. It's a double, 2 stars is what it's showing, but nobody's on base, so it's just a double for Chirinos. But it would have been a runner's advance 2 bases only had he gotten there. Unless the runner had a 6, then that would have overridden that. And now Chris Owings will be called back. It's his turn to bat, but he won't bat. Rougned Odor is picking up a bat. He is the normal second baseman for the Orioles. He will come in and pinch hit for Owings and take over at second base. So Rougned Odor is the new second baseman. And he's up there in a big spot. 2 outs and a runner at second base, and they might pinch run for Chirinos too because they really need that run. Who they got on the bench? They got Kelvin Gutierrez. He runs at a 5, but Ryan McKenna runs at a 9. So they're going to bring Ryan McKenna in to pinch run for Chirinos. And Anthony Bemboom will come in and catch. So a lot of activity going on here. Bemboom will come in and catch. McKenna will pinch run for Chirinos, and Chirinos is gone with Bemboom taking over as the catcher. So McKenna runs at a 9, so definitely any base hit, he's going to almost certainly score, especially with 2 outs. So Orioles trying to pull out the stops here and get this magic to get this run across, this 2-out RBI possibility to try to reclaim the lead. Odor, the pinch hitter against Loizaga. An 11, which is defense again, 69. 69 is an error check on the third baseman, LeMahieu. And his error rating at third is a 5, best you can have. So 1 to 26, it'll be an error. Anything above 26, he'll make the play. And he does. It's a 70. It's a 7, which means it's just a ground ball fielder's choice, but the only choice he really has with the runner at second is to throw it to first, and that's going to end the inning. So McKenna kind of goes to waste there a little bit as he is now out of the game. The only bench play they have left is Kelvin Gutierrez, but they tried to find that lightning in a bottle with that 2-out opportunity, and it cost them, but can't blame the aggressiveness, I don't think. So Odor grounds to third to end the inning. We go to the 8th. We are tied at a run apiece. And Crable is still in there. He only faced 1 batter and struck him out last time, so he's going to stay in there. He'll be facing DJ LeMahieu, Gleyber Torres, and Aaron Hicks. 1-1 tie in the 8th. 7 is patient, 41, and that's a walk. So LeMahieu draws the leadoff walk to start the 8th. That is a total of 7, so he can't get a jump. Due up is Gleyber Torres. Now, does he? But he's not a very good bunter. He's a D bunter, so they're going to have him swing away. 11 is Wheelhouse, and it's a good thing. 07, that is gone. That is long and gone, and goodbye. See ya. Gleyber Torres, a 2-run homer, and all of a sudden the Yankees have grabbed a 3-1 lead on the Orioles, and a stunned crowd here at Camden Yards for their home opener, and they are being treated rudely by that. And we got bullpen activity for the Orioles again, as they have another right-hander down there throwing in the bullpen, and that right-hander is Dylan Tate. So Dylan Tate is loosening in the pen. Crable to Hicks. 7 is patient, 35. That's another walk. So all of a sudden Crable can't get anybody out this inning. And I think they're going to remove him from the game right now and go to Dylan Tate. So Dylan Tate is aboard. I always manage to hit the board when I'm moving cards for some reason. But Dylan Tate is your new pitcher. He will be on for the Orioles. Dylan Tate with Hicks at first and nobody out. So Crable ends up going a third of an inning. That was the out he got in the previous inning, and then giving up 2 runs, and the runner on first is his responsibility. He's on the hook for the loss if the score does not change. If the Yankees keep the lead and never lose it, he's on the hook for the loss. There is kind of Falefa. Tate to kind of Falefa. 9 is in play, 46, and that's going to be a ground ball to first, possible double play. He's an 8. That's a 9, but that's a 9. So since he's only an 8, it's going to be a fielder's choice. Kind of Falefa will reach on the 3-6 fielder's choice. Mountcastle threw to Mateo, but the return throw not in time to double off kind of Falefa. So 1 away, and that brings up Higashioka. 5 is in play, 24, and that's a base hit for Higashioka. Since there's not 2 outs, and it was an in play result, we go to the runner advancement chart with the lead die of, or low die of 2 on the D6, and see where that takes us. And lead die of 2 is 2 bases from first base to third base, so kind of Falefa will take third. Runners are at the corners. Still only 1 out. And Anthony Rizzo, the lefty, is up, but Tate has to face 3 batters, so you can't bring a lefty in. You got to leave Tate in there. Infield at this point is, well, there's a good double play chance, so they're going to play back for the double play. 3 is defense again, 36. 36 on the defense is an error check on the pitcher, Tate, and his error rating is a 3. Kind of middle of the road, so 1 to 45, it'll be an error. Anything higher than that, and he'll make the play. And it is an error. That's an 11, so it is an error. It's a 4 on the 2D6s, and a 4 says for the pitcher, it is a 2-base error. So 2-base error, and Higashioka will take third. Rizzo will score, Rizzo will take second. Kind of Falefa will score on the E1 2-base error to try to field it and throw to first, and it went wild. Kind of Falefa scores, and Higashioka takes third base. That brings up Giancarlo Stanton. Now the infield has to come in with only 1 out. We get a 10, which is tough, 0-6, and Stanton will strike out again. He gets the hat trick, striking out for the 3rd time. 2 down for Josh Donaldson. Tate trying to get out of this. Yankees have 3 runs in. They lead it 4-1. Tate, 6 is tough, 59. That's a strikeout to end the inning. But the Orioles did damage 3 runs, 2 of them on the big home run by Gleyber Torres, but then the throwing error by Tate brings home that 3rd run. And we go to the bottom of the 8th with the score, 4-1 Yankees. And Loizaga will be replaced in the bullpen. And we'll take a look at who that might be. Orioles have Mullins, top of the order, Mullins, Urias, and Mountcastle, a lefty and 2 righties. The Yankees will go with Clay Holmes out of the bullpen. Clay Holmes will pitch the 8th inning. In a 4-1 game. Loizaga did his job, kept the score where it was, and gave his team a chance, and they took advantage of it. So Clay Holmes facing Cedric Mullins to start the bottom of the 8th. Mullins is 2 for 3. 7 is tough, 46, and that's a base hit. He's now 3 for 4. Mullins, tough hitter, and he leads off with a single. That is a 7, but he needed a 4 to get a jump for a steal, so he will not try to steal. Urias, the batter. 10 is patient. 12, that's a walk. So all of a sudden Clay Holmes having some issues, and the Orioles put the first 2 on with nobody out. And that brings up the dangerous Ryan Mountcastle. He had 22 home runs on the season. Yankees could use a strikeout or a double play right about now. 7, they get tough, might get the strikeout, and they do. 0-1, so that is a strikeout. Huge strikeout there of Mountcastle for out number 1. And that brings up Mancini. He's 0 for 3, but he's dangerous still. Dangerous hitter. 12 is tough. 0-5, another strikeout. So Clay Holmes has come back to strike out 2 in a row. 2 tough hitters. And now he's got the very tough Santander, although he's not quite as tough against the righties. But he does have the power. Not the average, but the power. So you got to stay away from ballpark checks if you are Clay Holmes. And he did. 5 is in play. 66. That's going to be a fly to right to end the inning. So after the first 2 are on, Clay Holmes comes back and retires the side in a row. 2 strikeouts and a fly out. We go to the 9th. Score is still Yankees 4, Orioles 1. And now let's see what the Orioles decide to do for their pitching in the bottom of the 9th. Or top of the 9th, rather. They have Joey Gallo do the Yankees coming up, followed by LeMahieu and Torres, 1 lefty and 2 righties. So they're going to go to... They're going to go to Keegan Aiken, a lefty. So Keegan Aiken will be on to pitch for the Orioles. He is the 5th pitcher used by Baltimore, and he'll be facing Joey Gallo, who was 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. Boy, talk about struggling. He hits 102 against lefties. They may go to the bench here. You want to give Judge the day off, but they could use Gonzalez. So they're going to go with Marwin Gonzalez. Marwin Gonzalez is going to pinch hit for Joey Gallo. They don't want Joey Gallo to strike out 5 times. So Marwin Gonzalez will pinch hit and stay in the game to play left field for Joey Gallo. So Gonzalez is your new left fielder in the bottom of the 9th. But right now he is pinch hitting. He's a switch hitter. He will turn around bat right-handed against the left-hander Aiken. Top of the 9th, 4-1 O's trail the Yankees. Aiken the lefty. 5 is ballpark. 16, that's in the wheelhouse. Marwin Gonzalez's wheelhouse against a lefty is not very good, though. Only 1-15. And he gets a 75. That's definitely out of range. So he got a fat pitch but missed it. Flies to center. 1 away. That's one Gallo might have hit a home run on, but you just never know. Trying to play the percentages. Here's LeMahieu. Aiken, 5 is ballpark again. This time it's 82, though. It's in play for DJ LeMahieu. Against a lefty, he needs a 33 or less. He didn't get it. 84 is a ground ball to short. 2 down as Mateo makes the play. And that brings up Gleyber Torres. And Aroldis Chapman is in the bullpen, ready to go for the Yankees in the bottom of the 9th. Torres, 4 is in play. 10, though, against the lefty. That's a base hit for Gleyber Torres. 2-out single for Torres. He's had a good game. He's got 3 hits in the game, including a big 2-run homer. He's right now the leading candidate for player of the game. Here's Aaron Hicks. 8 is tough, 65, and against a lefty, that's a strikeout. So Hicks is out on strike to end the top of the 9th. And we go to the bottom of the 9th. Last chance for the Orioles. They trail it by the score of 4-1. And for the Yankees, they will turn to their closer, Aroldis Chapman. Holmes did have 20 saves, but in the beginning of the season, Aroldis Chapman was their main guy till he struggled. But he was their main guy, so that's the way I'm playing it. So Austin Hayes will be in to face Chapman. It'll be Hayes, Mateo, and Chirinos due up. Actually, Ben Boom, not Chirinos, because they did have to pinch hit. They pinch hit for Chirinos earlier, so Ben Boom is actually the catcher. Here's Hayes against Chapman. 9 is tough. 11 struck him out. Chapman with the K. Start the inning. Brings up Jorge Mateo. 9 is tough again, 55, and that's another strikeout. So Chapman early on with 2 Ks, and now he's got to face Bim Boom, a lefty, who is not a very good hitter, but That's all they have left because they pinch hit for Chirinos earlier. Get a 7, which is patient 14. Patient 14, though, is out of range when he faces a lefty. 14's a pop to second, and the ball game is over. The Yankees hold on and win it by the score of 4-1. They will improve to 5-3. The Orioles will drop to 3-4. And we'll be right back with the totals. All right, let's look at the totals. And the totals on the line score show Yankees win it by the score of 4-1. 4 runs, 11 hits, 1 error for the Yankees. 1 run, 7 hits, and 1 error for the Orioles. Winning pitcher was Jonathan Loaizaga. The loss goes to Crable, and Aroldis Chapman picks up the save. So the Orioles and Yankees play their first of a 3-game set. And the Yankees take that one. They have 2 more to play offline. But now we've got the ticker to take care of for April the 15th, as this game was played April 15th in 2022. So we are at the ticker. And April 15th is on 2 separate pages. So let's write in the Yankee win 4-1 over the Orioles. And now we'll get ready to go for the ticker. Got our dice here. The numerics are the 10s and the dots are the 1s. The 2 reds are for the visitors and the 2 whites are for the home. So we start out with the first game, the Cubs at Colorado. Stroman against Marquez. So we get a 43 for the Cubs and a 32 for the Rockies. 43 for the Cubs and a 12. So we go to 12 and check 43 is 5 runs for the Cubs. 11 for Colorado and a 32. 11 and a 32 is 4 runs. So Cubbies win that one 5-4 over the Rockies. Next game is Cincinnati and the Dodgers. 23-1. I would say the Dodgers have a huge advantage. And with the 61, it's not going to hurt their advantage either. The Reds did roll a 64, but they only a 1. So 1 and a 64 is only 5 runs. Where the Dodgers have a 23 and a 61. 23 and 61 is 10 runs. So the Dodgers win that one easily 10-5. 10-5 victory. Next game is Philadelphia and Miami. Eflin against Lopez. 22 for Philly, not good. 65 for the Marlins is really good. So 10 and a 22 is only 2 runs for Philly. Miami 8 and 65. 8 and 65 is 8 runs. So Miami wins that one easily 8-2. Milwaukee and St. Louis. Miles Michaelis against Freddie Peralta. St. Louis only has a 16 and Milwaukee only has a 51. So much better there for Milwaukee. Most likely will win this. 10 for St. Louis and a 16 is only 2 runs. Milwaukee has a 7 but a 51, and 7 and 51 is 4 runs. So that one belongs to Milwaukee. Next one up is the Mets in Arizona. Davies against Bassett. And we get a 52 for the Mets and only an 11 for Arizona. So looks like a Met victory to me. 8 is for the, it looks like an Arizona victory, I should say, because red is visiting. 8 for Arizona and a 52. 8 and a 52 is 5 runs. The Mets have a 13, but they only got an 11. So 13-11 is a shutout. So the Mets are shut out by Arizona 5-0. The Nationals and the Pirates. 44 for the Nationals, 62 for the Pirates. Nationals 9 and 44 is 4 runs. But the Pirates 12 and 62. 12 and 62 is an 8. So Pirates win it 8-4. Next up, San Diego and Atlanta. Kyle Wright against Mackenzie Gore. We get a 13 for Atlanta, but a 41 for San Diego. So Atlanta, 12, but only a 13, gives them 1 run. San Diego has a 5, but they got a 41, and that gives them 3 runs. So San Diego wins it 3-1. Minnesota and Boston. Ryan against Pivetta. 26 for Minnesota and 24 for Boston. 12 for Minnesota, and a 26 is 3 runs. Boston 10 and only a 24 is also 3 runs. So we have a tie. We go to the tiebreaker. which is their clutch rating. Minnesota is a -2. Boston is a +1. So very likely Boston will win this. 6 for Minnesota, 4 for Boston, but you take away 2, makes that a 4. And for Boston, they have a +1, makes that a 5. So Boston actually wins this game 4-3. And the rest of the 15th is actually on another page that I had to print. So we'll continue the April 15th outing with Tampa Bay against Chicago. Dylan Cease and Drew Rasmussen. A 12 for Tampa Bay. A 5 and a 12 is a shutout. They get no runs. The White Sox a 26, but they had 6. 6 and a 26 is 2 runs, so the White Sox win it 2-0. Now we got San Francisco and Cleveland. Rodon against Plesac. And where's my other? Didn't go through. There we go. 23 and a 24. Interesting. 23 for San Francisco and a 13. 13 and 23 is 3 runs. Cleveland 6 and a 24 is 2 runs. So San Francisco wins that game 3-2. Keller, Detroit, and Skubal for Detroit and Keller for Kansas City. We get a 22 for Detroit. Kansas City only got a 15. 2010 and a 22 is 2 runs. Kansas City got a 7 and a 15, which is 1 run. So Detroit beats Kansas City 2-1. Houston and Seattle. Odorizzi against Gonzalez. We get a 14 for Houston and a 13 for Seattle. Not very good either way, but looks like Houston might eke it out. 11 and a 14. Actually, 11, down here. And a 14 is 2 runs. So 2 runs for Houston. Seattle, an 8 and a 13 is 1 run. So 2-1 victory for Houston. Angels and Texas. Detmers against Busch. 41 for the Angels, only 26 for Texas. So the Angels, 7 and a 41 is 4 runs. 4 runs. Texas, a 26, 10 and a 26 is only 3 runs. So chalk the victory to the Angels. Last game, Oakland at Toronto. Jeffries against Stripling. Huge advantage for Toronto. 46 for Oakland and a 45 for Toronto. So 46, 4 and a 46 is 4 runs for Oakland. For Toronto, a 17 and a 45 is 7 runs. So Toronto wins that game 7-4. So I hope your team won on the ticker. If they did not, there's always the next game. And the next video will be the Yankees playing at Detroit, as they have a couple games to play in Baltimore. Yankees will be playing a game here in Baltimore on the 16th and another game on the 17th. Then they have an off day on the 18th. And on the 19th, the Yankees will be in Detroit. It'll be Garrett Cole against Tyler Alexander, and that will be the next game on the video for the project. The other ones I will play offline. The other ticker games I will do offline. But for this game, to wrap it up, once again, Yankees win it 4-1 over the Orioles and improve to 5-3. The Orioles drop to 3-4. So I hope you enjoyed that presentation of the Payoff Pitch New York Yankees season replay 2022 style. April 15th was the replay date, and it was game number 8 of the season. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I'll see you all down the road.